Hello everyone. This is the first video that I'm recording currently, and no, there's no background to it. There's nothing special because this is going to be a little bit of a rant. I don't even have music going on in the background. So I just read the Bendy and the Ink Machine Dreams Come to Life graphic novel, and for those of you who do not know, I am a very large Bendy fan. Like, I'm talking like this game was really big for me. Before I was even a total drama fan, I was obsessed with this game. And there's a lot of problems that I kind of want to talk about. First, let's get the good stuff out of the way. I really like the design of the character called the violinist. That was really cool. The scenes that she was in were really nice. My friend didn't really like it because apparently they were holding the violin wrong or something. I don't know about that, but I think that's the least of our worries with this one. Um, Buddy and Dot's designs were good. I'm currently reading off my phone because there's a whole chat that I had with someone that I don't know. I am really disappointed that there is no viewer oversight with this. Like, I'm sure the person who created this graphic novel is really great and stuff like that. And plus, they changed a lot of stuff having to do with, oh, we need less pages so we can't include these whole conversations and stuff like that. But there is some things that I really just don't think can be afforded. Um, the first thing that I want to mention is not exactly he's not exactly my favorite character, but his name is Thomas Connor, and he is kind of hinted at to be black, and like they kind of hinted that. Heck, in the original book, they kind of hint that my favorite character Sammy is racist, sexist, and all that sort of stuff. I hate that book. I'll tell you why in a second. The But first, let's talk about Tom. He's white. I don't know, when you like do so much hinting at it. Plus later, because at first I'm like, oh, probably it's just because every character is portrayed as yellow in this, but no, they show a character as black later, and then at a certain point, he also turns white, probably due to the lighting somehow. I That was weird. That was a weird scene. Um, But now let's talk about Sammy. Sammy Lawrence is my favorite video game character of all time. I'm like talking all time. In the original book, Dreams Come to Life, he was ruined for me in the way that they portrayed him less of a character who is just done with everybody's bullshit, which is how the entire fandom, and I'm talking the entire fandom, saw him. Of a character who was just, he was tired, he was done. I related heavily to this character of feeling like I was going insane with the amount of work that I was doing. I just couldn't. I was having trouble sleeping. I just wasn't doing great, and that's why I related so much to this character of just, I'm just so done. I feel like I'm going insane. However, Sammy in the books was portrayed as, and later on it was confirmed in the Joey Drew memoir, that Sammy was always an asshole. He's just an asshole. And he's presumably racist and sexist, which I disagree with that take because they make it so that, oh, it's because he's calling everyone by their first names that is a woman or a dude who is presumably of color, which is what he does to Thomas, who is apparently white now. Um, I just, I, what are you guys doing to my favorite character of all time? I There's a main thing about this series, and that was that you could kind of put a lot of what you want to into every one of the characters, and There's little specific limits. Like there's certain things that they mentioned that they did detail a little bit of Sammy Lawrence, and let's just say the Sammy Lawrence that's in the graphic novel is not what they said, and it's definitely not what any of the fandom wanted. I saw a tweet earlier today that because I was just like, surely someone's gonna put something out about this, and they did it, and they compared it to Dream's "put the mask back on, he's ugly" hashtags that were trending, and honestly, I can relate because this is this is a great design. Don't get me wrong, but this is not Sammy Lawrence. You can look at other people like Hafusek, Alwenza. Okay, one second. Who's like the most famous Sammy Lawrence designer? The Ink Demon Apologist. I think everybody kind of bases them off of that a little bit because that was kind of like the main one, and everybody just kind of had a specific look for him. Everybody's was different, don't get me wrong, but there's kind of like a certified look out there that 99% of people would just follow through with. And that was just not taken at all into account, which just kind of killed my image of what I want him to look like. And I know that's probably just a me problem. I probably shouldn't rant about that, but I am because you had so much to go off of. So much fan things, and all of them were around the same look for the character. So why didn't you just choose one of those and not make him. Uh, oh, okay. And yes, I, I think whitewashing Thomas isn't the greatest thing either. There's one random character that I found in the book who looked as kind of more similar to what people want Sammy to be. I'm not even sure if this character is a dude or not, but moving on, there's just some. I sent this to my friends. I talked about this a little bit, but there's a lot of things that are just wrong. I when I first saw like the like trailer for this graphic novel, I saw Norman's thing, and it is the most basic bitch picture I've ever seen. This is the most basic bitch ass character design I've ever seen for Norman Polk, and I'm just like, you what? You could have done anything with this guy. I've seen a lot of people put on like Coke ball glasses. There's no this is once again the thing where 99% of the people portray him as black because there's a lot of reason to think so, and that's kind of what the fandom has mostly decided on. Sure, you can not do that either, but you could give him any bit of personality, and that'd be great. You know, you could give him any bit of personality, give him something, some look, and go for it. The next thing that I want to talk about is Bertram Piedmont. This was the most heinous crime of all because I saw Bertram Piedmont and I was wondering who's that character, and I looked at what the speech bubble said, and Joey called him Birdie. I'm like, oh, oh, that's great. So this was a character where you actually had a design to go off of in the first place. This is a character where you actually had a design to go off of in the first place. This is a character with a canonical look. And this is what you do to him. He's blonde. He doesn't have a facial hair. Was that chin, bro, as well? Dude, who is this man? This is not Bertram Piedmont. This is one of the characters where they actually should have given you a design. I don't. I feel sorry for the person because they're who created this because they're probably gonna get a lot of hate for this due to the fact that they just weren't given the materials supplied. Plus, the original creator of the book was, obviously given a lot of creative freedom, which led to the botching of my character, the character that I love so much, anyway, I should say. So Bertram Piedmont is one of the biggest offenders, I think, here. Um, then you see the ink version of Sammy, which that is a look. I promised myself two things. I said, okay, so if I get lore on like if Norman when after he died, when they find him after he died, if like there's projector stuff around him and that's like good part of lore, I that would like save my opinion in the book. And the second thing is if the ink design of Sammy Lawrence looked really cool. However, the ink design for Sammy Lawrence is goofy, really just dumb looking, and I I don't even know what to say. It's the person who created this book don't like take my critique as like a critique of your art style. I think it's great. I think the way you designed Buddy and stuff like I think the way you designed every character is great, except for Norman. Norman was a little bit too bland, my guy. But characters like Joey Drew, Allison, Buddy, Dot, they all came out of this pretty good. But characters like Sammy were just botched. His dialogue, was cut out, of course, because they had constraints with this. Um, and Jacob, how did you Michael Jackson this man due to the lightning, like, due to the light all of a sudden going on him? He race changed in there. What the heck? But come on, you had one job. And by the end, I'm like, okay, there is the one thing that could possibly save my opinion on here. I said, I'm like, okay, the Sammy thing, yeah, it didn't work out. It's really just goofy and not something that I like. But, there's a chance that we can give myself lore using the Norman thing. And I looked at that, and Norman is mentioned by Jacob. They don't show him. They don't show him at all. So not only did I not get like there's a projector lore here, I didn't get to see what he looked like in that situation. In fact, I thought that Jacob was him for a while because you know, Jacob going all Michael Jackson for a second, turning white. I didn't notice how similar their like body features were until then, unless you wanted to say that they actually met Norman, who's waking up, and they just forgot to change the tags of who's who or whatever. But yeah, that was a great book, but poorly handled on the part of the Maitly. I am I am disturbed. Buddy's demise was interesting, I guess. It was definitely toned down a little bit. Um, Nothing on Norman. That was the last thing for me. Seeing every single design of Sammy Lawrence in this just made me cringe more and more, as this was my favorite character, and I am going to. He has been botched in every single thing that has happened. Let's go over it real quick for all you Bendy fans out there. Bendy and the Ink Machine Chapter 2, great. Bendy and the Machine Chapter 5, he was good. He was good. Bendy and the or Boris and the Dark Survival, that was great. That was pretty decent. Good portrayal, Bendy and the Dark Revival, okay, so you did him dirty, but there was obviously they mentioned that there's plans to do something with him there. You did mention that. However, yeah, you didn't. And then you mentioned that he's going to be in the next game, but I fear for that due to the fact that how he's portrayed it in the book was disgusting at like best. And the portrayal in the graphic novel just killed all the fans' things. And I know there's probably like Sammy Sims out there who are like, "Where's my twink? Where's my twink, Sammy Lawrence?" And to be honest, I can't agree with that on something because this is a great design, but this ain't Sammy. This is not the character. And I know there's no official thing. So anyway, that's my entire rant done. I need to get this out. I need to post this because I don't know, if he's not portrayed well in the next game, I don't think I can call him my favorite character anymore. I don't think I can even keep him in my favorite characters anymore because this just trying to ignore the books hurts a lot since I'm not a FNAF fan. Sorry. I just had to do a tiny dig at the FNAF fans out there. But yeah, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Bye bye.